This content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill no one.
Wait a second.
Oh, no.
We return to our planet. The High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies. We like movies. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings, you're watching SeptumSin versus the world. I'm SeptumSin. This is Kotobuki Jake.
Hey.
We're here to show you what we got.
Yes.
Show me what you got. I want to see what you got. Oh boy.
So we're going to try something different this time around. We're going to take little pictures of what we've got, and then I'll put them up after we hold up our initial, so that you can get a good view of the things that we have.
Indeed.
Maybe a little bit better view than what I could show off. And since it'll be the actual product, that'll be a good thing. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of a commercial.
Buy all our playsets and toys.
So this is not a part of these pickups, but the newest album of the AI Assholes, Broken Manifesto, was released. Again, $5 in the link down below.
Good times.
Of course, I've got this is the CD and the insert pictures.
Okay.
And of course, they're made with AI because AI assholes. Which is also why I don't really care to make money off of these. I find them amusing. I find some of the songs entertaining. I do write all the songs. But I use AI to help me with the music. So because I don't really like AI taking over for artists, I'm not really trying to make any money off of that. But on this is, I call it Broken Manifesto because it has more of a, it's more of a political feel, which may be a detriment to some depending on how you lean. I've got In Memory Of, which is kind of a song about my father and my loss of him. I have The Man in Black Fled and The Gunslinger Follow, which is a Dark Tower theme song. Jake's heard it. He proves.
He's a good.
And let's see here. We've got Gone to the Cleaners, which was the first song I'd actually written, but I forgot to put it on anything, so it's finally gone on there. Sort of a blues song. Death Metal Doxology, the Satanic Panic version, which is which might be considered sacrilege to some of y'all. Basically, I took the doxology. For those of you in Christianity, you should know what doxology is, and I did every word and typed it backwards. So it's a Satanic Panic version. But I also took the song and let it go forwards, and also using the metal version for the actual doxology, which turned out actually quite good. I've listened to that one over and over again. I'm not one to listen to hymns a lot, but that actually was really good, it turned out. 6 Deadly Words, which is a song about, bad words. I did just to see if I could get there. So a little bit, some comedy on this album. Alternate Reality, which is a song about us living in a different reality than others. I Like CDP, which is my weirdo song that I usually have songs that make no sense on the album, and that's the one for that one. The End of Self-Expression, again, that's more about what was it? That's about over censoring of things. Bring the Lube, which is a song more about being too over, basically giving too much freedom to too many assholes. Delay, deny, dispose, for you know what those three words are from. That is also very political. I'm not going to go into that here. I could get me banned. I go too far into it. Freedom of speech is in relation to the whole Facebook ending its fact-checking. The Children's Garden, which is one that we co-wrote. And that's actually a pretty...
Destined to be a classic.
It's a nice song. It's kind of almost has a Garbage vibe to it. Like the band Garbage. Not actually Garbage, but... Batman versus My Little Pony. So, yeah, that's a great one there. Dead Limits, which is just kind of a song that I kind of put together. I thought sounded cool. Praise Ye the Lord of Hosts, which is actually another hymn. A very holy album. And this one is actually done fairly well as a hymn. I belong to a certain denominational church back in the day, and I still have high value for that denomination, and that was actually exclusive to them, which was kind of there. Forever Physical, about preservation of physical media and why I like it. His Name is Frank, which is probably the most comedic song in there. It kind of comes across almost like a Less Than Jake feel. And it's a fun one. Matter of fact, I've got a picture of Frank right here.
Oh, okay.
That's Frank right there. Let's see here. Farting Waffles and Cold Root Beer. That was one that I typed a very long prompt into an AI and just thought, let's see. I typed an entire paragraph into a prompt just to see what would come out. And that's what came out. I want to eat my socks, which, believe it or not, was inspired by the fact, hope we don't lose power, which was inspired by the fact that I've always wanted to do a sock opera. So I used the music sock opera as my prompt, and then I did write the lyrics to the sock opera. So, you know, I've written the lyrics to every other one of these.
Well, I helped on one.
Yeah. He wrote the lyrics to one, and I wrote to Children's Garden. I wrote the chorus. Let's see. I like to talk politics on Facebook, which is every album I have a talking one that's like just basic verbal, and that's my verbal one because that can't go anywhere. I had 2 bonus tracks, which are alternative versions of 2 of the songs: an alternative version of the 6 Deadly Words song, and an alternative of the sock opera song. So that's basically what I've got on here.
Sounds good.
Again, all 3 of my albums are on there amongst Dave's many albums. And unlike his, where he does want to utilize his stuff to make money, I don't really want to make money. I just want to have fun sharing music with everybody. I'm probably going to put these albums eventually on YouTube. But, if you want a physical copy of it, it's just enough to kind of cover that and the shipping of it. So,
you never know. These could prove to be like really fancy demos.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe you'll get someone like Taylor Swift or someone like that will hear one of those and go, I have to record this.
Taylor Swift would be very interested in my sock opera, most definitely.
Or who knows? Is Less Than Jake still recording? Maybe
maybe. But in any case, if you want to have some fun, that's what this is. Like I say, I don't support AI taking over, but I kind of enjoy it as sort of like a little tool that might be useful. Yeah. And of course, Jake gets a free copy.
Yay! Woo!
So, and that will be all I have for the time being.
Okay.
Well, I need to have one, so.
Alright. So, who's leading off?
You go ahead at this point.
Okay. So, I'm going to lead off. And this will be your chance to put our... no. That'll be the next movie. I have a theme. I have nothing super fancy tonight. I'm basically just presenting a handful of movies that I have on Blu-ray, and I believe they're all upgrades from DVD except one. And this one falls into that category of I can't freaking believe I didn't have it on DVD. but I don't think I did. I think it's one of those ones I kept thinking I had it, and that's why I didn't get it. And that is a Robert Zemeckis film from around the start of the new century, starring Tom Hanks and a volleyball called Castaway.
Very nice.
Very well-known film from the time. It is basically a movie carried by Tom Hanks. I mean, really, if I remember correctly, I think Helen Hunt had a small role in it. Nick
practically
Searcy.
the only character other than the volleyball.
Well, there's also an interesting appearance near the end. Country singer Lori White, if I remember correctly, has a small role. But yeah, it's basically Tom Hanks and Wilson for most of the film. And it's a good movie. It's a really good showcase for Hanks' acting ability. I mean, you gotta be good to carry a movie on your own. This one doesn't have an extraordinary amount of bonus features, but it does have a few things. A commentary track, a couple other things. It's one of those ones where a lot of the stuff that it gives on the back is pretty boring for modern releases. But I did finally get it. So, yay.
Awesome. So I do have a criterion up here.
Oh.
I'm finally getting to where I'm just grabbing these alphabetically down, unless I get something like I feel like I really need to show off. So I got this Jackie Chan Emergence of a Superstar collection.
Oh.
Which is a pretty cool little criterion. It has 6 of his films, so we're actually getting more and more Jackie Chan coming out with Criterion.
Probably not the one we just covered, I imagine.
Yeah, they had the police story stuff on there, which is interesting.
I thought that was a separate Criterion.
No, not this one. I'm talking about the other release that has both of those movies.
Yeah.
So we're getting some Jackie Chan sets out. We have Half a Loaf of Kung Fu, Spiritual Kung Fu, The Fearless Hyena, The Fearless Hyena 2, The Young Master, and My Lucky Stars. And I haven't seen any of these, so it's going to be kind of fun. They have a lot of these things. It's got this one say, Enter the Clones of Bruce as one of the extras. They have a decent amount of them. They have the original Cantonese for people who really want to see this in the original Cantonese, and they have the crappy dubs, which for those of us who really love that, I mean, for the people who were making fun of dubbed kung fu movies, really and truly, a lot of these old Jackie Chan movies are the ones that people were thinking about at the time, because they were really bad, but they were really funny, and there were a lot of Bruce Lee clones back then. He
had much bigger hair back then.
He did. he had really big hair back then. But I think that's a pretty nice, strong start.
Yeah. Now, I will also be going into foreign cinema here, but a very different one. In fact, you can cue up the critic video for this one, because this is the epitome of the pretentious, boring French film. This one, again, is an upgrade from a DVD release, and it's a Kino Lorber release of Camille Claudel, film starring Isabelle Adjani and Gérard Depardieu. And it is a 3-hour film about artists in French. Exactly. I did not love this movie, but it did have great performances, and it came out in '88. I think it was nominated. Adjani was nominated for Best Actress at the Oscars. I think the movie was up for foreign language feature as well. It's a good film. It's directed Gabriel Yared, I believe. Music by Gabriel Yared. Who's the director on this one? I don't remember. But anyway, it's a good movie, like I said, about Auguste Rodin and Camille Claudel. Basically, Rodin is a sculptor. He's played by Gérard Depardieu. Adjani plays Camille Claudel. Like I said, good solid film, but definitely, oh yeah, it's right there on the front, a film by Bruno Nutten, but definitely not an exciting film, but I am glad to have it upgraded and taking up less space in the collection.
Okay. So, this is going to be a multi-pull packy.
Okay.
Because it's a lot of these Sievage fan film things. So we're just going to go through each of these.
Okay.
So this is Low Budget Pictures Classics Volume 3, which has the Karaoke Kid in it, and Scrotal Vengeance.
Oh, jeez.
I actually had thought about trying to add some trailers, but a lot of these darn things don't have trailers, or they don't have them easily available. So, for those of you who know Chris Seaver, he does some low-budget schlock, but you can see how high-budget this release is.
Oh, man.
When AJ Staybone is relocated from the sunny sands of California to Wellsville, New York, he finds out that the town is much more than it seems. Home to the biggest karaoke championship of all time.
Ooh.
AJ embarks on an epic adventure, pitting him against the likes of Ricky, the Gooch, Champion, the local bully, and reigning, bad misspelled, karaoke champion. Witness karaoke as you've never witnessed it before. And for Scrotal Vengeance, Skeet Dupla and Teen-Ape battle against the nefarious Razor McBleed for the soul and giblets of a woman. Yep.
Oh, jeez.
You either really love Seaver or you don't. There's really no in between. I like his work. I do find it interesting. I have fallen behind on it, and that's very bad, but I don't have a lot of money these days, so I try not to buy a lot.
Okay.
Last purchase I made was a decent, expensive one, but I was trying to head off any type of, what do they call it, tariffs on items and catch up to a lot of stuff that I know I was behind on.
Yeah.
But we also have the Low Budget Pictures Classics Volume 2, which is Blood Trim and Bloody Giblets. I think some of these you could get into, and some of these you probably won't.
Yeah.
I don't know which ones, what these are, to tell you the truth. I mean, they sound interesting. There's no explanation on the back. It's just some dude here with his tongue all messed up. You know, I guess it's like bloody giblets and blood trims and stuff like that.
Seems like.
So, oh, wait. There we go. In Blood Trim, newball teens must battle against the undead, bloodthirsty Rasta Desmond St. Croix, as he wreaks havoc, determined to sample their fruit punches. Alright, and Bloody Giblets, join Teen-Ape and friends for a time-traveling erotic adventure, battling evil and fighting for the American way. As you do.
As you do.
So then we go over here with Low Budget Pictures Volume 7, which has 'Twas the Funk Before Christmas and the Blue Cheese Brothers. Now this one actually is not one of those super low budget cuts. This one's actually one of the ones he actually got pressed. So he'll do like a pressing of some of them for the early release. You pre-order it, and then he just does these kind of cheap releases for the others.
Okay.
But so I don't think I have very many of the. Oh, I got 2, 3.
Okay.
I got 3 of them. Okay, that's kind of
okay.
So let's see here. 'Twas the Funk Before Christmas is a 2006 short film about Teen-Ape and Bubbles being partnered up with a busty elf to help find kidnapped Santa Claus and the turgid and squishy misadventures they get into along the way. Now, one of these films that I
God.
actually got into Deceiver for, was the Blue Cheese Brothers, because it is funny. It's an Ernest fan film. The Blue Cheese Brothers is a notorious 2008 short film that begs the question, what if Ernest P. Worrell was stuck in hell and needed to be rescued by a group of geeky weirdos so he could finish this magnum opus, Nightmare on Vern Street? Yeah.
All right.
Then we have the Heather and Pugsley quadrilogy. I can't say that word. See how it's got these like their little like like Criterion-esque things, I guess. Even
Yes.
that,
I don't even know that these would make the tinfoil collection.
this is volume. This is Low Budget Pictures Classics Volume 6.
These would be Criterion's crate paper collection from the sound of it.
From 2002 to 2010, these two warriors of Christmas have fought their way through Hugh Jackman's alien lesbians and the devil himself and a bunch of highly arrogant wizards. For the first time in one set on Blu-ray, lovingly remastered for your optimum viewing pleasure, along with a wealth of never-before-seen extras, you get to experience Heather and Pugsley again for the first time. Or something like that. Yeah, look at those. Look at fancy DVR there. Yeah.
Super fancy.
Two more, and then I'll be done with this one. And the other one that I have is multiple packs is only two things. So this is Low Budget Pictures Classics Volume 5. Mm-hmm. I've actually talked about some of these before on the channel. So we have, this one is Ghoulish Chronicles from Bonejack High and The House on Bonejack Hill. Let's see that there. So let's see here. So Ghoulish Chronicles of Bonejack High tells the true life adventures of Stefan, Mowgli, and Jill. Three buds for life who are all about having good times until one fateful night when they tamper with a Ouija board and unleash a psychosexual nightmare. Two sexy Grim Reapers show up and tell the trio they have unleashed the spirit of child murderer and all-around nasty man, Killer Kellerman, who will stop at nothing to continue to rock those nasty things to supple young asses. The trio must find a way to thwart the evil once and for all, so they can go back to being super sweet homies. And the last one here is The House on Bonejack Hill. Stefan and the kids of Bonejack High are about to have one of the most crunked up weekends of their lives, as they are invited to stay at the house on Bonejack Hill, where Stefan's grandfather dies and leaves him his legendary spooky abode. Stefan gathers his clothes and hombres to peep. Did they say clothes? No, his closet of hombres to peep the house for some much needed boobs, bush, and butt steak. But once butt steak, okay, that's a word I don't hear all these days. But once they enter the house, they begin to be picked off one by one by some of the most ridiculous characters ever put to home video. This flick will make you believe in unicorns and give you a ghostly feeling of having your bunghole tickled.
They better be careful what they promise.
One more time. This is Low Budget Picture Classics Volume 4, the Meter Man duology. Over here. So I think he runs a channel called It Crept from the 80s, which if you haven't figured out, he loves the 80s.
Huh.
Two slabs of 90s VHS-ass garbage for you to enjoy for the first time on Blu-ray. Meter Man tells the tale of a simple British meter reader who happens upon a house with an old crone. When he enters the home to ask where the meter is located, he's suddenly trapped and made to live in her basement, being fed poop until her death, Many years go by, and a group of kids break into the house to party and unwittingly release the meter man, who at this point is out for revenge and dispatches the kids in various budgety, gory ways. And that's enough sievage for the time being, anyway.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure I could dig up more if I want to, but I think this is all the low budget feature stuff that I have right now. So you go ahead at this point.
And now for something completely different.
Had to balance out that French art stuff.
Well,
I think I balanced
well, we're going
it.
right back to art, but this is Aussie art. And this movie is hard as shit to watch, but it's a good one. And it was definitely, I don't know if I want to say entertaining, but it was more, it grabbed me more than the last one did. And that is a film by Neil Armfield called Candy, which features Heath Ledger, Abby Cornish, and Jeffrey Rush. And this is a very, very hard film to watch about addiction. Basically, Cornish and Ledger play a young couple who recreationally get high. Rush plays their pusher, basically. And when they get pregnant, they decide to go cold turkey. And it's not pretty. This is a really, 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 really well done film. Again, not exactly an easy watch. This is a Shout Select release, and it actually does have a few bonus features, so it's a pretty decent little release. Certainly not in a hurry to see this again, but I was very happy, again, to not only upgrade to Blu-ray, but also save space and not have a big-ass DVD. So definitely good to have in the collection, though. And if you haven't seen it, I would say it's definitely worth a watch. Just be prepared.
Yeah. Word of the wise. If you're pregnant and you're using something that would put you into some severe withdrawals, go see a doctor, get on some methadone or something like that. Don't go cold turkey.
Yeah.
You will definitely stand to potentially miscarry if that happens.
Yeah.
Now, the guy, go ahead. He's not carrying nothing. So, he go right ahead. But, be careful.
Well, he's carrying something. It's a little different, but...
carrying that monkey on his back.
Oh, exactly. And, yeah. And it's a good illustration of why methadone and such things are probably useful. Yeah.
So let's go back to campy horror again.
Woo.
Because I don't have enough of it apparently.
Apparently not.
So I got this limited edition double feature of Camp Killer and Maniac Farmer. There are only so many ways to make a person scream. And, of course, this tagline, all trespassers will meet the farmer's axe.
Ooh. Is it Troy the Axeman?
I need to have more Troy the Axeman stuff. I need to, pair with Evan Jacobs and do a Troy the Axeman film.
Yeah.
This one, I think, has a reversible cover, so I'll show that off as well. Right there.
Yeah.
So if you want to just look at one or the other. And then we got that as the disc. And now I'll put the front back up here for you to see.
Okay.
So, Camp Killer. The sheriff of a town plagued by an unstoppable killer meets up with his nemesis one last time as the pair of survivors complicate matters for the worse. Who will be left standing, and what will remain of their sanity? Written and directed by Sean Jones. Okay. And the Maniac Farmer, a group of street punks led by the murderous, blasphemous Rex, meet their match when they chose to terrorize a seemingly helpless farmer who ends up turning the tides on a group, and the hunters become the hunted. Written and directed by Matthew Williams, starring Jake Rourke, Tyler Caldwell, and Jeremy Sneed. I may very well know some of these people because this seems like something I would have bought off of somebody that directed or something. But I really don't know the circumstances. I have to see it first and then I'll maybe know the circumstances.
Okay.
But sounds like fun. Sounds like fun, kind of low budget horror. I like good low budget horror. So see.
Good times. Good times. Okay, my next one is from a director known for horror, but he's also known for like heavy thrillers and that kind of thing. And this is more of a thriller. This week on Movies Galore, we discussed Mulholland Drive, so definitely check that out if you haven't already. Which featured Naomi Watts in one of the movies that basically turned her into a movie star from years of struggle. A film that came along a little bit after that helped solidify her position in that sphere was the second collaboration between director David Cronenberg and Viggo Mortensen, and that is the movie Eastern Promises, which features Mortensen as a Russian hitman, if I'm remembering correctly. And you've also got Vincent Cassel in there. You've got a couple other folks, Armin Mueller-Stahl. This was a 2007 film. This is a Kino Lorber release, which actually does have a decent number of bonus features for a Kino Lorber release. It's a nice little set here. I remember this being a good movie. I probably only seen it once or twice. This is also one I had on DVD, and so I've upgraded to a smaller and better quality edition. Like I say, good solid performances. I haven't really seen Cronenberg's more horror type movies, but as a drama director, he's a solid director. And the other one he did with Mortensen, was it A Most Violent Man or what? Or A History of Violence? That's what it was. I enjoyed that one a lot. This was not as good, but still good. I definitely look forward to seeing it again. But like I said, now I've got a much better one sitting on the shelf than what I had before. Have you seen any of the ones I've mentioned so far? I mean, I'm sure you saw Castaway.
I mean, I've seen A History of Violence, Castaway.
Okay.
I've seen the Candy one.
Oh, you did see Candy.
Yeah, but
so from your perspective with mental health, did you feel Candy captured it pretty accurately?
for the most part.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Good deal.
So,
cool.
Hey, at least it's not hard candy. Talk about another one hard to watch.
I bought that from Walmart on principle.
So, I got another one of two, but this because it's kind of an addition, and I found these when I was trying to find them, which is good because one of them is apparently very out of print. Okay. And that is Bob's Burgers Season 11 and Season 12.
Envy that.
They don't really have much here, and since Fox became Century Fox, or Century Studios, or...
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's actually got 20th Century Studios on the back here. So, but apparently Season 11 is badly out of print, so, yeah. There is an Australian complete release of the Season 1 through 14, which is pretty cool.
Cool.
But I've got it in this format. Might as well keep going with it. Okay. I mean, I like Bob's Burgers. And, it's about this guy, Bob, who has a burger place, and he runs it with his family. And they get into odd craziness as it goes on. I need to just start busting these open and start watching. I've watched a number of seasons, but the episodes I've watched haven't been a lot of order. It's just been kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
So, one of these days I just got to get in there and just get my hands deep in there,
Right.
just grab it and go.
Yeah, my brother's a big fan, so I've seen a lot, but like you said, bits and pieces.
And I picked up Season 1 through 10 just all together. Okay. And I had picked these up, and I knew I had these because I had them recorded, but I couldn't find them, and they kind of got filed away. There's still a couple that are probably lost in the collection somewhere because I had to do a reshuffle of everything. Now it's all completed again, but there's still occasional stuff that kicks loose.
Okay.
So Bob's Burgers seasons 11 and 12.
Good times. All right. And for my last one, like I said, I don't have anything big this week, but I do have something that's big in terms of this is a freaking awesome movie. And I'm a little bit genuinely surprised I did not convert it to Blu-ray sooner. It happens. And this one is also this is a Shout release.
Huh?
And it is a German film from 2004, originally called Der Untergang, but better known in America as Downfall. Filmed by Oliver Hirschbiegel.
That one stays expensive.
Hirschbiegel. This one, it features Bruno Ganz as Adolf Hitler, and it's about the final days of the Third Reich, basically. A film that, in very many ways, may have taken on unfortunate new relevance in the current era. But also a film that got a weird wave of popularity about 10 years ago when it became this weird meme where the bunker scene with Hitler chewing out his generals became this crazy meme where people would redub it with the weirdest shit. And look some of them up there. Some of them are hilarious. But the movie itself is an excellent film. Gans does a wonderful performance. It is not. It is a hard film to watch, but it is a good one. And this is again, it's a Shout release that has actually a pretty good number of bonus features. It's a good, solid release. A quote collector's edition. What?
It keeps its value. I've rarely ever seen it below 20, and if it goes below 20, like 17, I think is the cheapest I've ever seen it.
Right.
I've got it, but I have not seen it yet. I need to see it.
Oh, you've never seen it?
I've seen Conspiracy, but I've not seen that one. And,
this is one we need to cover in the movie group one of these days.
That's one that needs to be paired with Conspiracy. I really think that one and Conspiracy would go well. I haven't seen that one.
I have not seen Conspiracy.
See, that's what we got to do. It's like one of these days where both of us have something and we both fall into that same thing.
Right.
And what we'll do, I'll bring up Conspiracy, you bring up Downfall, we'll knock it out like that.
Good times.
Like that Malcolm X and American History X too, for we've been wanting to do one of these days.
Yeah, right. Which I still haven't watched Malcolm X. I need to, and I'm slacking, I guess. And I have an unwatched copy that needs watching. But yeah, if you have like him somehow missed this one, definitely check it out. And yeah, go ahead.
It's pricey, but he's worth it supposedly.
I probably got it on sale. I think all of these are like, well, Castaway, I think I bought at Walmart like dirt cheap because it was like $5 bit. But these others, a couple of them are Shout and a couple are Kino. I just picked them up
Kino
on the
has
sales.
good sales.
They do have good sales.
Kino is one of those few left, because I don't do this as often with the size of my collection.
Right.
But it's one of the few left that I'll go through one of their sales if I have some money, and I'll actually say, you know what, I'll take a chance on that. It's only $5. It's only $10.
Exactly.
You know, it could be really good. And so this last one is bought off of the ending days of Disney Movie Club. Tells you how long ago that was. And I said, you know what? Why not? Because it was like $4. And that's this Kurt Russell 4-film collection. And I've heard of these films, yet I've never seen any of them.
Slightly younger there.
Slightly. So on this, you've got Now You See Him, Now You Don't. You got The Strongest Man in the World, The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, and The Horse in the Gray Flannel Suit. Now, I have never seen any of these films. I've heard they're kind of wacky, weird stuff. I mean, it's from that era of Disney, like that 80s, 70s era. What year would that be?
I was going to say, that can't be 80s, because Kurt Russell is definitely older than that.
Because he did Captain Ron in the 80s, didn't he? Or 90s?
No, that was 90s.
But, yeah, probably 70s era.
Probably.
Midnight Madness era Disney. So it's kind of slightly wacky, slightly off. I've never seen any of these, but do really want to check them out because I keep seeing those come up. And this might be the only chance I was going to get them. So,
Okay.
Kurt Russell collection.
Alrighty.
Well, that's everything. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and share. Check out the CDs and stuff in the link down below if you want to get any music, if you want to get the films that are on there. We would love it if you bought some films. Even if you don't buy my film, you could always buy Dave's film, or you could buy Kyle's film. There's some good stuff in there.
Okay.
Or Boris's film. So, well, it's Philippe. It's Philippe's film, not Boris. Boris is the character. So, yeah, if you can, check it out. But otherwise, let us know on the thing. What did you think of this new format with me putting the pictures up?
Okay.
It might be not worth it for me to be like with the pictures and stuff. But we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
This is the end of the show. We hope you liked it though. We had our spin, a time afraid it's almost time to go. This is the end of the show, but we felt you'd like to know. A bunch of friends right to the end, a link just down below. This is the end of the show, so help us let you know. 'Cause here's Jake to say the things we thought just couldn't go.
And now we would like to take a moment to thank our friends at the Rebel Gaming Club for our rollicking opening number that has been gracing our videos for some time now. And we want to thank all our friends who come out for various projects and what have you. We have numerous links below, and we very much encourage you to check them out and give the other people a visit as well.